Hello, friends. This is Darren Hayes of PigskinDispatch.com. Before we take you to your favorite Sports History Network show, just want to tell you a little bit about some merch that you can pick up that represents your favorite SHN podcast. So far, there's t-shirts, coffee mugs, and even books from some of the authors that do podcasts right here on SHN. Who could buy something better than that than have the history right from the gentleman that you hear talking about it? But we also are adding things each and every day. And where's that store, may you ask? Well, it's at SportsHistoryNetwork.com. Up at the top, there is the SHN merch button. Click on that. It'll take you right to the store, and you can be representing your favorite podcast and show the world that, hey, on the swag that I'm using, it's the headquarters of Sports Yesteryear, Sports History Network, and my favorite podcaster, the Sports History Network store. Shop there today.
It's time for Unpopular Essays on Sports History with your host, Ors Davis.
Supposition. We live in a golden age of sports. I mean this not in the sense of athletes becoming stronger, speedier, savvier, and smarter than ever before, nor in terms of the amazing access we have to live streams and stat feed, instant insights and opinionating, of the quirks and personalities of our celebrity heroes. This, rather, is a golden age of sports in humanistic, historical terms. The truth is that the great majority of people today, willingly or not, have a direct and regular connection to organized and or participatory sports in their everyday lives than anyone born before the 20th century. In the United States, not a person alive can recall a time when sports was not a staple of the daily newspaper. For 4 generations, the notion that nightly news programs should devote up to 1/4 of their airtime to sports is taken for granted. Why do we take this for granted? At Unpopular Essays on Sports History, everything is questionable. Supposition. Those who play the games have ascended in the public eye to heights unimaginable in times past. Playing top-level sports can get today's athlete into business, TV production, national politics.
But now they're bringing pronouns into our military. They're bringing wokeness into our military. I don't even know what the heck is a pronoun.
Just how did this happen? At Unpopular Essays on Sports History, everything is up for examination. Supposition. Sports, wherever they are played, but particularly in those places where they are invented, affect culture, even pace culture, in profound ways. One could argue that sports are more important than ever. Corollary, sports history, too, should be more important than ever, yet is probably more disrespected and disavowed than ever. At Unpopular Essays on Sports History, we love the past, while marveling at the present and wondering about the future. The Unpopular Essays of this podcast title is a nod to Bertrand Russell, the logical positivist. Plus, it's a great excuse to get that BA degree finally pay off. And as we're taught in philosophy, philosophy is not about answering questions. It's more about making them clearer. 3 days a week, Unpopular Essays on Sports History will examine a moment in sports history, probe some modern ethos of our games, or speculate on what the past can teach us about the future of the games, and all in 500 words or less. Though, probably will occasionally throw in the longer interview, other goodies like that. We'll tour the spaces and times of the whole wide world of sports history about as quickly as Secretariat ran Belmont State. Supposition. Sports history is fascinating, illuminating, and fun. Join me, Oz Davis, in making the questions of sports history clearer, right here at Unpopular Essays on Sports History, a Sports History Network production. This has been Unpopular Essays on Sports History, a production of the Sports History Network. I'm Oz Davis, thanking you for listening, and tune in a couple of days for another Unpopular Essay.
Hey there, sports history fan. This is Arnie Chapman, aka the Football History Dude, and I hope that you enjoyed this recent episode presented by the Sports History Network and were able to learn some good old-fashioned sports history knowledge nuggets. I started the Sports History Network back in 2020 with the mission to help podcasters find a community of like-minded sports history nerds, as well as helping aspiring podcasters to start their own shows. We have a little bit over 30 shows on the network right now covering all sorts of sports history. But as far as I'm concerned, we're just at the toothpick in the ocean moment, that can't even figure it out because there's so much more coming. We wanted to create the ultimate headquarters for sports yesteryear, starting with Podcast Network and our website, but we're going to continue to move into other mediums as well. And here's the cool part, because we want you to be part of our team. So if you're interested in starting your own podcast, or maybe being a guest on one of our shows, or who knows, maybe even writing an article for us over on the website. Seriously, all you gotta do is reach out to us on the contact page over at sportshistorynetwork.com. You can be as technologically savvy as a Neanderthal tapping on a stone trying to figure out this whole hieroglyphics thing back in the day. Again, it doesn't matter, because even if you don't understand the whole podcast space, we have a production team that can pretty much help you out with doing everything. All you gotta do, head over to sportshistorynetwork.com, head to the contact page, fill it out. That message goes right to me, and I'll reach out to you as soon as I can. But for now, dude, I'm through if you're through.